Already giggling. Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders Scene. What's current? Now we got Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and upcoming Nelly involved with the DJT, as we like to say in this house, DJT, or President-elect Mr. Donald John Trump. Um, that's what it is. It's all about the dollar sign. They probably got a good bag. I'm sure. Sure, they got a hefty bag. And these are all people that have either criticized or outright slandered Trump's name. Snoop had a whole skit or a sketch or something like that where he was shooting at like a person that's dressed up as Trump, allegedly. I'm not even sure if this is all true, but I think you can find it online. I didn't see it. But he was going. This is during his first administration. Um, Separate from his second, they had performed at something that was called the Crypto Ball. It was a crypto ball, so that's just another sign of change coming to the White House. Once again, this is Trump 2.0. So we're going to see what happens. There's what's his name, Foreign Fivio or something like that. I always forget his name. Of course, Kodak Black is definitely going to support Trump. He got him out of jail, he almost got right back into jail. So I don't know. Does he have a case pending? I don't even know if he has a case pending. I'm not sure. But I would say that this is just getting the bag. I'm not really mad. I'm not mad. I'm not like, oh, there's some hypocrites. Oh, they shouldn't be supporting the president elect. He's going to terrorize the country. If he has the right footing, I think he could actually make a great nation out of, if he wants to live up to his mantra, and there's no pandemics, because that's what really brought him down. Trump didn't know anything. He's not that bright. He's not the sharpest tool in the drawer. I can say that because I'm not the sharpest tool in the drawer. I'm not that bright, but I'm not running for president. There's a difference. And I have not been elected to be president of the United States of America. So there's a little bit of a difference. But I think that if Trump is able to sustain himself and able to have his policies in order, have people around him that are going to be beneficial. See, zero viewers right now. If it was on the vertical, it would have been like 40 people right now. But that's fine. I'm doing the horizontal. It's all right. I have one view after all of this. And that's all right, because I like to just run my mouth. I'm just running my mouth right now. Ha la 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 la. So let me get to my sponsors for today. Life Strong Apparel, Mr. Pang. He has treats for the dogs. He has a rideshare service for dogs. He has sitting for dogs. And that's not just it. He has stuff for humans too. He has great products for humans. He has purple sea moss, wild sea moss, and sea moss gel. And when you make your purchases, here's the kicker, folks. You can go put in SKYLER20, Skyler20, and that'll take off 20% from your purchases. So that's a big chunk out of what normally would have been a large bill. So definitely take advantage of that and tell them that the goofy guy, the silly guy, I'm going to start calling myself silly. The silly guy, Skylar Saunders, silly Skylar Saunders, is definitely supporting him. Also, Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS _, on YouTube. Go to his site. It's at DOTFOCUS _, on YouTube, youtube.com. He has, I think, just under 100 subscribers, Make sure you help him get his numbers up to at least 150 by the end of the month, maybe towards February. And he's got a great hand on COD or Call of Duty. He definitely makes his mark. He gets his sniper rifles out. He gets his rifles out. He knows how to use them. He loves the pink mist. Anybody know about that? Knows what I'm talking about. The pink mist. So definitely check out Dot Focus on YouTube. Also on YouTube is Bayha Jackson. He's a child actor. He was the original younger version of Doughboy in the monumental film Boys in the Hood. Something that you should watch if you haven't seen it already. Definitely something that is key to the Black experience. Definitely key to the Black experience. So definitely check out Bayha Jackson. He's got sardines on the grill, fried chicken, near beer, and he's talking about female strippers. So if you like any and all of those things, make sure you check out Bayha Jackson. A little self promotion here. You can join the 100 Club, my 100 Club, by contributing $100 or more in a month to the broadcast. Advertising and sponsorship is skyrlersaunders@gmail.com. And you can check out my vocal profile if you go to vocal.media and just type in SKYLER space SAUNDERS. You can see my stuff. Okay, let's get back into this. All right, so Snoop Dogg, I'm not going to say he's a media whore, but he definitely has a great agent. Somebody's making the phone calls, or doing the emails and the texts and the Snapchats and the Instagrams and the threads. I don't know what is used nowadays, but whatever the case may be, he's got Corona? Yeah, Corona. He's got T-Mobile. He's got the smokeless pit thing. He, Master P, and Shaquille O'Neal have great agents, or they have great people behind them. They're the chumps in the front that are actually shilling out all the products. But there's a team of people behind them that are just pushing them. Oh, you're gonna get on this. You're gonna get on this. You're gonna hold this just like that, and smile, for that particular product. So I think with Snoop Dogg especially, he was the ambassador for United States of America in a sense. I don't know if he was official or if it was just a term, but he was an ambassador for. I'm blinking a lot. I can tell. I'm blinking, and that's distracting. I know. So back to the glasses. All right. So he is definitely a spokesman. He's a spokesman. He's definitely knows how to push a product. He has his own products. He has his own. I think he has a doll or action figure. I should say he has an action figure. He's got many things together. So, and he's still making music. He just came out with Missionary, so he's still doing the music thing. All right, Bumbleclot, salute to you, sir. Yeet. Make sure you donate. Donate. There's not going to be a lot of people in this room today, but if you don't donate, that'll make my day a little bit brighter. I'll be happy. So, I'd appreciate it. Salute to you, Bumbleclot. Let me make sure I get. So, and Soulja Boy, his star has faded. This is what it is. He's a factor, but he's not really relevant. Can I say that? Is that possible? Can you be a factor but not relevant? I think you can. He has, like, whenever he goes live on Instagram, it jam packs. He's got like hundreds. He's got thousands of people. That room is jumping. So he hasn't really come out with that He hasn't really come out with a strong album in his whole career. They're just like cuts that are all pretty good songs, but they're all like mashed together. They don't have really good sequencing. Bumbleclot says Snoop Dogg is annoying nowadays. Why is he annoying? What makes him annoying, Bumbleclot? Bumba. What makes him annoying? I think with Rick Ross again, his star is starting to fade. He hasn't had a hit album in years, but he has multiple businesses. He's got multiple ways of making money. He's the hustle. Every day he's hustling. Every day he's hustling. So it's not like he's like one for anything. Same thing with Soulja Boy. He had his own video game. He had his own clothing line, SODMG, all of that. So it just adds to the pot. It just adds to the pot. That's all it is. But McCloud said he's in too many commercials, and now he's chilling for Trump after being so anti-Trump. Yeah, that's the facts. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it. He's definitely pushing for Trump right now. He's pushing for Trump, and it just seems to me that he is a bit of a, I don't want to say a coon. He's not Trump's not, Snoop's not a coon, but he just it just seems as if he like has to be both a gangster, a crip, and then he has to go into the corporate world. He has to be in corporate America and know how to finesse certain situations. So I give him that many props. I give him props for that. Being a crip, super crip, super cripped out, but then he goes into the offices of corporate America and he says, "Look, I can sell this product," and they're not like, "Oh my God, that's crazy! Look at this black guy. He's got all these blue colors on. He's got these flags, and I don't know. We're not gonna." They're like, "No, it's Snoop. He's been around for for over 3 decades now. He beat a murder case. What else can you say? And then he just was like, you know what? I'm gonna be smart. I'm not gonna be dumb like Diddy. Diddy's dumb. He was not smart enough to stay out of the penal code, out of the prison system, the jailhouse. He wasn't smart enough. Snoop was smart enough. He had the right idea. He had the right frame of mind to even come up with it. So, but yeah. So and Nelly is supposed to headline or at least perform at a separate event, but it's still in congruence with the inauguration. It still matches up with the inauguration. So we'll see what Nelly has to say. Nelly, again, his career is not the same. He plays, different concerts. He does different venues and things of that nature, but it's not the same. It's not. He can't recapture the same magic as he had with what was it, Country Grammar and Nellyville. No, those were his biggest albums. And then you had Sweatsuit. There it goes again. 0 viewers. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, nothing. But that's fine. I gotta keep going through the show. I gotta keep rolling. I gotta keep pushing forward. I think with everything that is represented here, it just seems that it's so easy to call them hypocrites. But wouldn't it be better if you call them? You don't know who they voted for. They could have voted for Trump. They could have voted for Biden. Not Biden, Harris. They could have voted for Kamala Harris. Who knows? Unless they tell you, and maybe they're lying. You never know. We'll never know. That's the facts about voting. Now it's up to 2. So this is the seesaw that goes up and down. It goes to 0, then to 2, then I don't know. But I'm doing the horizontal mambo. No, pause. I think with especially Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, it's a totally different kind of thing. It's totally different. It's totally different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm looking. Here's the article. Various artists are currently, this from Hot New Hip Hop, are currently under fire for seemingly celebrating incoming President Donald Trump yesterday. Excuse me, Donald Trump. Yesterday, January 17th, the first ever crypto ball was held in Washington, D.C. in honor of Trump's return to the White House. It featured performances from Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, and Soulja Boy. Social media users are calling the artists out for their apparent support for the U.S. president-elect, particularly since they've all denounced him in the past, every one of them. Back in 2017, the article continues, Snoop pointed a gun at a clown. This is what I was talking about. As then president in the music video for a song with Bad Bad Not Good, Lavender Nightfall remix. In an interview with Billboard the same year, he revealed several of the problems he had with Trump, which included the ban that he tried to put up, him winning the presidency, police being able to kill and get away with it, and people being in jail for weed for 20, 30 years. Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Let's put a pin in that. We'll come right back to that. 20, 40 years, 20, 30 years for weed. That shouldn't happen for any substance. I don't care if you had crack cocaine or PCP. It should all be legal. Every bit of it. Every one. Every single drug should be completely legalized. Manufacture, production, sale, and consumption all should be legalized. The consumption should be taxed, not the manufacturer or the production. Nothing on income. All on consumption. That's the only tax that should be in existence. Consumption taxes. Not production taxes, not income taxes. We should be, if I have to be the only voice for that, and I got one viewer right now, I don't even know. Is it Bumbleclot? I don't even know. But at least let you know that. I'm talking to that one person. Maybe this video will pick up traction later. But I have to tell you, once again, I've said it before, all drugs need to be legalized. And we need to have private education that let children know that once you're 17, you can do what the hell you want as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Smoke your weed, smoke your PCP, smoke water, all that. Salute. Peace up, King. I see you in there, sir. That's what I'm gonna start telling people. Like, if you come into the room, make sure you bring like 2 or 3 people. If you come into the room and you're by yourself, make yourself not by yourself. Make sure you're with at least 4 or 5 other people so we can get this popping. It's 3 people right now. It was at 0. See, if I had stopped, said, damn, it's only 0 people, I gotta stop. No, keep pushing. Keep grinding, keep shining, keep doing the damn thing. 3 people in this room right now, 2 likes. I'm not mad. Now it's down to 1. See, you can't call this. It's like the Dow Jones. It's up, it's up, it's up. Oh, and then it crashes. It's down. Like, it's wild. But anyway, I'm back to yeah. Where I put it? There it is. Yeah, it's free for 20, 30 years. That's crazy. I don't care if it's weed. I don't care if it's coke. I don't care if it's heroin. Doesn't matter. Should be all released. Everybody that was charged only with possession or distribution or anything like that, and not rape, murder, fraud, robbery, anything like that. Those are people that need to stay in prison forever. How long? If they got 20 years, and rehabilitate them. If they got life, punish them. Punish and rehabilitate the ones that are robbers and thieves and stuff like that. If they're gonna get out in 30 years, you're gonna have to rehabilitate them because they're gonna be going out to the world again. So you gotta rehabilitate them. But people like mass murderers and stuff like that, and attempted murderers and stuff like that, they should be locked up for the rest of their life. I think. I just think that. That's how I figure things out. They should be locked up for the rest of their lives. And not receive rehabilitation, but full punishment. The 20 and 30-year-old, 20 and 30-year sentences, they should get punishment, just because the act of them not with the act of them being deprived of freedom, that's their punishment. That should be their punishment. But they should be rehabilitated. They should have to, go through training how to become a business manager, how to become some kind of artist, or some kind of something that is productive and will create a better position for them than they were when they first came into prison. Okay, that was my aside. I gotta look for it. Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. As for Rick Ross, he shared his thoughts on those supporting Trump's bid for re-election in a video shared on social media last year. Let's make it clear. You vote for who you want to vote for. That's fine with me. Quote is a quote. But one of my homies, he was just like, I can't wait till Trump get back in here. He had a nigga eating. End quote. And I just don't want nobody to be delusional, he said at the time. You can't be a delusional nigga. Then he did he have you eating, or was it a nationwide, worldwide pandemic and you niggas stole the money? In 2019, end quote. Soulja Boy claimed Kanye West, or Ye, for supporting Trump, claiming that ish not right. The three rappers' performances took place in reports that Nelly will take the stage at the inaugural Liberty Ball on Monday. Instagram users in the Neighborhood Talks comments section have a lot to say about their participation in these inaugural activities. Excuse me, festivities. Jesus Christ. While some are in full support of their decision, others are outraged. I don't want to hear none of these niggas crying when they find they lost the support from the culture. One commenter said, writes, quote unquote, this is so embarrassing, another says. And this is all by Carolyn Fisher, a news writer at Hot New Hip Hop from Chicago, Illinois. She started Hot New Hip Hop this year and has since spent her time writing about all that is newsworthy in the world of hip hop with a drive, and it just goes on. I don't know. Yeah, but I think it's goofy. They're securing big bags. It probably is at least six figures. I want to say it's seven figures, but maybe it is. But I'm saying they at least got six figures. I'm sure. They probably each one of them, Snoop, Rick Ross, and Soulja Boy, all got some major figures from this. I'm sure of it. I'm just guessing. I'm just guesstimating out here, but I can't make certain of it. They didn't disclose how much, if they got paid or if it was just a publicity thing. I'm not sure. We may never be sure, but I can only say that there are certainly people that are out there that will try to claim, oh, you going for Trump's inaugural ball. Like, okay, I get the bag. Who cares? I mean, it's a thing called integrity. If they're willing to state their claim and say, you know what, I'm with Trump now, I can respect that. I wasn't with Trump anymore, but now I'm with him. I'm getting the bag, and that's cool. But if they start saying, all this stuff afterwards about Trump and stuff, it's not gonna be believable. And that's what he said. That's what they're saying. If they lose, respect from the culture, quote unquote culture, it's actually a genre of hip hop, then it's going to be a very sticky situation. It's getting sticky. It's getting sticky. I can't say anything else. I get a strike on my account. But yeah, so these three men, grown men, millionaires, made in America, black men, created something for themselves, fame and fortune. Names will ring bells forever and ever. They made history in one way or another. All three of them. And that is what's so amazing about this country. that you can. They all can. How many people come from? Like you always say, oh, they say the billionaires because there's so few of them. But they used to say millionaires and billionaires. Now they usually just say billionaires. Who's a billionaire? Jay-Z, Michael Jordan, Rihanna, Magic Johnson, Tyler Perry, LeBron James. Just a few to name. African American, Oprah, African, foundational black. Well, Rihanna's not FBA. But yeah, the others are all born and raised in America. Rihanna is, of course, from Barbados, and we respect her. I actually think Soulja Boy should be doing. Does he have his own cereal already? I think he has his own rap snacks. That's by Master P, if I'm not mistaken. He still has rap snacks. Or the rap chips. And we're back to one. Whoever is number one. Who is numero uno? Whoever you are. Now it's back to zero. Whatever that number is, that's it. Like, I got to 150, and that meant 9,000. I have no idea how that mathematics works. I don't know how the algorithm works, but I had 150 people, and that equated to 9,000 views. 9,000. And I've been said, it says on my channel that I have 4,000 viewers. I have 4,000 hours of watch. It says this: new achievement. People are getting hooked on your channel. Congrats on reaching 4,000 hours of watch time. Keep giving them what they want. I'm not giving you what you want. I'm not even giving you what you need. I'm giving what I want and how I need to do it. That's the difference. Still at 912. Still how many? I still have 2,069 public watch hours. It says I have 4,000. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm so confused. Somebody gotta hit me up. I don't know why my nose get itchy during the show. All day it's not itchy. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these artists that we grew up with, or our formative lives. These go back to the early '90s, the mid '90s, to the mid 2000s. So Snoop was the mid '90s. Rick Ross was and Soulja Boy were the mid 2000s. They made millions of dollars, millions. There are people in Sudan that are starving to death, and you know who I choose? I choose the millionaires. I choose the millionaires because the people in Sudan can be selfish as hell. The millionaire and the billionaire can't be selfish. That's how disgusting our society is. Oh, everybody can be. Yeah, even Jesus can be selfish. I am that I am. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes before God but by me. Like, I'm paraphrasing. I think I broke that up. But that's a little. Is that, and that's like too much to say. That's like too much of a compliment to say he's selfish. That's narcissistic. That's narcissism. I'm the great I am. Like, really? Nigga? What? Says whom? Prove it. Where's your evidence of this God? Where's your evidence that there is such thing as a God? And then I'll claim you as the son. Till then, No thanks. I'll keep it pushing. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. This is special. You know what? Oh, ain't nobody watching. I'm gonna read me a story. I just wrote this story. I'm gonna read my stories. Why not? F it. I'm gonna read my stories. This is gonna be fun. This is going to be fun. This is a short. This is an essay that I wrote called "Everything Is Fine," an ode to cinematic genius David Lynch. I like it. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Everything is fine. An ode to cinematic genius David Lynch. Stay weird, says the artwork. From the lady in the radiator that's saying, in heaven everything is fine, this atheist knows better. Late great director David Lynch is in a place of ideas. When he died this past week, all I could ideate about were ideas. He had tons of them. From the scene with the deformed monstrous child and the world in Eraserhead. All right, I'm gonna try to do this without my glasses. It's crazy. To the notes he used from a song about a candy-colored clown they call the Sandman and Blue Velvet. This matador took his audience on trips and flights of fancy. Sometimes profane but never vulgar, Lynch lifted ideas from his mind onto celluloid with verve and pinches of madness. This oeuvre has of his might be slight, but it's rich. It is rich. His transcendental meditation recognitions, his weather reports, his penchant for smoking, which would take his life due to emphysema, all coalesce to a single vision of a man. All right, now I'm just looking like crazy. I know. This goddamn light. I gotta have the light, but god damn it. His power on the screen, his almost squeaky, twangy Midwestern drawl remains matchless. How he directed stemmed from his childhood, where his mother gave him blank pages instead of coloring books in the hopes of encouraging a better sense of creativity. I first paid attention to a Lynch film with the aforementioned Blue Velvet, which showed weirdness, tenderness, and adroitness. The mystery and neo-noir touches continue to be astonishing and an astonishing addition to his body of works. As I watched later Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire, things got weirder and weirder, all to my satisfaction. Mr. Lynch's approach to film showed that he prized ideas and how to convey them from his brain to the world. Creativity continues to be the mainstay of art, but also of business. With his album sales and, of course, his films, he took the time to make his ideas electricity that could power a large city. His ability to showcase human foibles, heroic characters, and pieces of Americana, he made things seemingly ordinary into things of beauty and worth. I like to think of Bob's Big Boy, a burger or a coffee, only because of David Lynch. This is what he infused in his many pieces. He could take something as everyday and pedestrian as a small town, flip it and find an underbelly as rancid as a fetid corpse. Then he could display beautiful women in his pictures like Laura Dern and Naomi Watts. He could put Richard Pryor in his final acting role. He could pull on the cord of the universe and release and watch the stars twinkle in the black space above. Mr. Lynch's powers extend to creating a foundation and this applies support to students and veterans. It's all about ideas. He expanded on the landscape of thinking by crafting distorted, ugly, gorgeous, gargantuan, and small images on screens large and small. With all these ideas which he treated like catching fish, it was all about shaping, molding, and remolding the various essences of filmic prowess. The cliche goes that film is made in three parts. It's written, shot, and edited. Lynch blew this off the hinges like a shotgun blast. He would direct some of his own scripts, but he knew that he would one day direct them. He also knew about editing from his time at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. He could throw all the elements together and foster an entire aesthetic that belonged solely to him. As an Eagle Scout, he had the discipline that would follow him throughout his life. Of course, his work was supremely strange, but there existed a resonance and understanding of the human condition. He did it for the. I'm trying. I know I'm blinking. It's crazy. Oh boy. Oh, where are we? He did it from the perspective of an alien, but always maintained his humanity. He just peered into the lives of everyday people and made them extraordinary. In the span of over 5 decades, Lynch painted landscapes and portraits of the United States he knew. For his displays of Americanness, he shows in Wild Heart he ironically, or maybe purposefully, earned the Palme d'Or. To understand Lynch may be a fool's errand, and that's okay. You can see his influence in such creations as Severance and Saltburn. With the mind of a mind as intricate as Lynch's, it's only right that we look in awe at his great motion pictures, and that's exactly what his work will always stand for in all of this. In the brief time human beings exist in this universe, it is only right that we have the sense to not just peel away the layers to Lynch's stuff and watch and rewatch his films, listen to his albums, and appreciate his paintings. What he ought to do is embrace his works and view our own lives. He never admitted, but he was selfish. That's a good thing. He was one of the few directors who had a rational self-interest on his side. He knew what he was doing and when he was doing it. His work ethic, again the big Boy Scouts, permitted him the power to transfigure the world he saw within and allow other people around the campfire to experience something around profound and stirring. While it is, of course, off the wall, his body of works showed that he was nothing but a consummate artist. He knew about the business and the artistry because he had time to engage in the world and make it his own. By finding those fish swimming in his subconscious and bringing them to the sunlight, he achieved greater success that makes it more enjoyable to behold the spectacular ideations of David Lynch. As far as my top 5 David directors, in no particular order, Soderbergh, Cronenberg, Lean, Mamet, and Mr. Lynch. I appreciate the fact that they all convey a simple vision from their thoughts, but they often bloom into gorgeous and enthralling scenes that can also be brutal and rough. Mr. Lynch performed such a feat as delving into the darkness and then offering something of levity with depth and the light, not just in the bleaker ideas. So that was my one. Still one person. Is it you, King? Are you the only one watching this? Are you the only one? I'm gonna start with my now with my business women. Oh, here's one. This is a submitted for a challenge. It's called The Brightest Light. An investor settles a matter in the year 2050. In brief, the city dwellers all had their eyes on the construction of the new tower. It will be an example of the ingenuity and promise of the dreamers. Instead, those dreams would be made into rigid reality. There are money being flooded from the top to the other classes that finally arrived. Winton Font had poured a fortune into this building in Wilmington, Delaware. His build, though slight, commanded respect wherever he went. All the classes have been united since 2035. All the political parties have made sense of their agendas, Paula Clinton pointed out to Font. He sat at his desk with his fingertips touching. It'll be another 50 years when the races will be mixed so much that there will be no distinction between color whatsoever. My vision for this, excuse me, what is this? Goddamn. The building shifted and the floors alternated based on the hour of the day. The 8th floor between the 20th and so forth. My vision for the city, state, and country, how the world is simple. Think about the thinkers. These are the ones who move the world, the intellectuals. I have to disagree with you, sir, Paula interjected. Fawn raised an eyebrow. Oh? We have come a far way from the fighting and disgusting policies. All narcotics and disapproved drugs have been legalized. No regulations or controls plague the citizenry. People have stopped demonizing the wealthy for their productiveness. All that came from brawn. We we forced these things into existence. Oh, but we couldn't have achieved these great things without the mind. There's no way, he fought, retorted. Jesus Christ. I don't know that. A video message appeared in the middle of the room. It was the President of the United States of America, Agnes Caldwell. Madam President, great to see you. It's always a pleasure, Winston. What can I help you with today? I want to hold a ceremony for all the capitalists who fought and won and made it to the top of the heap based on brawn. I'm sorry, madam. Did you say brawn? Paula smiled softly in her bitter lip as she looked down. Of course. What do you consider finding this amount of money making to come purely from brain power? Why, yes, Font replied with clean innocence and strength in his voice. Impossible. We had to muscle our way through the House and Senate, almost literally coming to blows. It's fine if you want to say thought precipitated where we live today, but it was more than that. We almost had to physically fight. Font rocketed to his feet. Madam President, it must be said, call me Lacey for the 100th time, Winton. I will not. Now, I have my assistant here, and you both are on the same page. I'm opposed to both of you. This is toxic rhetoric. I say this with all due respect. Of course, that's right. But we're right. Excuse me. I know you're not on my page, madam, because we rose from our savage ways and have discovered that America and the world are better off with people who use ideas more than they use bombs and missiles. In fact, you don't get such weapons without first thinking about them. It's a paradox, I know, but it is the nature of things. The president scoffed. She held on to Font's words, though she could feel the iciness on the back of her neck. There seemed to be currency in Font's words, but she couldn't ignore it. Okay, we go with your model. We say that only thinkers, the men and women of the mind, could only have shaped the world. I was voted in by brawn. They used to coercion just to get things done. You admit that? Font asked. I stand on it, the president said. Font rolled back around to his desk. So what can I do right now? Never mind our little tiff here. First, I need you to fire all the intellectuals you hired. Their services are unnecessary now. I respectfully wouldn't do that. You must. I'm the commander in chief. You're like a warrior now. I will not do that. There are millions of other businessmen around the world with might who might stoop so low as to perform such a heinous task, but I refuse. The country we rebuilt came about by brains. It will be sustained by brains. President Caldwell grinned. It was a slick grin. You know that there are no relations between government and private enterprise except to protect such interests. What if the protection were to evaporate? Fonston's is a form of extortion. Again, I can't. You can't or you won't. I refuse. The screen disappeared in the middle of the floor. Paul's mouth hung slightly agape. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I disagree with you, but you held your ground. What else is there to do? Paula breathed. You know she's going to go to other entrepreneurs and they're going to cave. I wasn't born with a steel rod in my back for nothing. It was actually stem cells that corrected his back. But he always thought of the surgeries as a metal appendage being placed on his spine. This emergence of science had been championed by those who thought. He knew this. He dialed the president, but she didn't answer. He gathered his jacket and found his jetpack. Where are you going? Washington. I'll be back in time to see the spire put on the 50th building. He opened the window to the skyscraper. The hydrogen power pack gave off nothing but water vapor. With the amount of power that lifted him, he felt the force and continued to accelerate higher and higher into the atmosphere. He arrived in D.C. in a half an hour. His Wi-Fi clearance allowed him to go to past the no-fly zone of the White House. He landed at the doors, which were opened by synthetic United States Marines. They saluted him. He marched straight to the Oval Office. I expect you to come here, President Caldwell remarked, looking out the window, her back to Font. I had to see you. You wanted a face-to-face meeting in order to be shut down, I said. Madam President, Lacey. She turned around, her arched eyebrows raised. I see you changed your mind. Only on calling you by your given name. You already know I made a video that sprang up in other business leaders' offices. Yes, and while that can't be undone, I'm ready to say to your face that I will never terminate the men and women who built this country. I mean, stem cells, brain chips, supersonic jets, yet again, the widespread proliferation of jetpacks, flying cars, all that came from the mind of an individual. I'll never let that be swept to one side. I like you, Winton. Those stem cells in your back really helped you. They're nothing compared to the natural chip in my brain called integrity. Phonics fixed his jetpack to his back and set off back to Delaware. He hovered in the air as the spire became part of the building. Anybody like that? Did you like that story? Story time? Two people in here. I can't type too much because I'm driving, but I'm in here. I got you, King. Thank you. Just let me know. I'll remember that because I think you're my day one. You're a day one right now. I don't have anybody. It goes in and out. It's got 0 views. I see 0 views. Some people say, "Oh, you got more views than you say." No. Well, I see 3 likes, 0 views right now. It's gonna be like 17 views, watch, or less. That's okay. That's okay. That is all right, cause you're my bum. um, yeah. So I'm just giving you my stories. These are my stories. These are my songs. I can't even edit this. Damn it. There's a typo in here. That's all right. Whatever. I'm gonna give you a little. I'm gonna give you another. Let me give you another one. Think of it. This is the same story. I'm saying it's the same. This is one of my favorite video. Not video. It's a story. It's one of my favorite stories I've ever written. I love this story. I love all my stories, but I love this one top. It's in the top tier. The viral video. A virologist, and her husband discovered something extraordinary together from some footage. Wilmington, Delaware, 2015. It's not about that, Dr. Gleese Reddington of New Sweden University fired back at her husband. She had eyes like fresh cut stone and skin the shade of lilies. Wilmington Stock Exchange hedge fund manager Kenyon Reddington had skin of the color of midnight. I'm just saying, they tried this before. I'm sure that you remember the woman back in the 20s. She wanted to do the same thing. They banned the entire practice for fear that someone might copy her. Of course I do. She's a heroine. I'm doing it anyway. I've got the research and it's on me. I'm not testing animals yet or any other living human being or anything. The ethics remain the same. It is selfish. That's why they don't. That's why they don't like it. Oh. They both prepared to go to an opera at the Mercy Hotel Theater. I'm not the reader. I'm the writer. That evening, she wore a smart salmon-colored gown, and Reddington sported a tuxedo with white tie and tails. Gleese continued, I already know the hell of chemotherapy. I've been there, and I'm not going back. Reddington sprayed some cologne. I think you are right. There's a way that you could be able to treat your cancer. However, I know there'd be a however, Gleese interjected. However, you have to see why this is so dangerous. Nobody's going to want to publish your results in any of the journals. It all boils down to ethics. Yes, ethics, Gleese repeated. The ethics of possibly saving millions of lives because of my own selfish research. Come on, Ken. There's the whole point. That's the whole point. This is the self-interested, therefore it must be dirty or vile. We're both egoists. The world hasn't changed much, sadly, from that time period. The increase in faiths and political movements around the world and their mysticism, collectivism, and altruism have plagued us for years. I understand that. That's why we're fighting. I just don't want to see a brilliant virologist get so close to the sun and then think about putting sunblock on her wings when it's too late. You don't have to worry about me. Icarus is about hubris. I'm about ambition. What is it that you want to prove ethically? I want to show that you are the master over your mind and body. If somebody wants to experiment on themselves with a specific drug or a procedure, they should have every right to do so, Glees said. Here's a thought. Why don't you use your video contacts to record the entire thing, from start to finish? Glees brightened and a smile ran across her face. She looked at her husband. Yes, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll use cover below the injection site and broadcast to the whole world. Thank you, Bunk Cake. She mentioned his nickname for her. Anytime like Earth, his name for her playing on her given name. We've got time before the opera. We can sketch out an entire log from the first injection to the process of dealing with mild flu-like symptoms. Police announced. As I've said, no one cares about the fact that you're using viruses to treat yourself. It's going to be a case of morality, through and through, Renton reminded. I got that. The whole thing is, I'm going to have to show to the Wellness and Awareness Administration that this is safe, that anyone who has the means and abilities to do it should be able to work on themselves at least. In following trials, there should be the willingness to be treated for this horrific and devastating malady. 2 weeks later. All right, I'm using my video contacts. This is day one. I'm currently live broadcasting from my laboratory. Reddington sat at his virtual desk and watched with his own video contacts his wife go through the challenge of injecting a virus into her tumor. The video had gained steam. 11 million people watched as she went through the task of administering her own treatment. It's the measles virus that often appears in children. I'm now injecting that directly into the tumor. She got her audience. That wraps up day one. I'm going to be talking about some anti-cancer drugs and keep fighting for self-experimentation. Thank you. Bye. She clicked off her video with a blink of an eye. A month later. Ken, I can't get this thing published. Why does it take the bravery of an editor to publish the findings of something this crucial? Kenyon kissed her forehead and then tasted her lipstick. We're still in a world where the individual repressed by the ravaging spirit of the conformist. If one editor wishes to not post your findings, it's like else has to follow them in an act of unselfishness, selflessness, and cowardice, which are all the same. I just need someone to publish my findings. Hell, I'll start my own journal and create my own record of my work. Wasn't that what the log was for in all this? Ken asked. Of course, it won't be as official, but it does demonstrate the entire procedure from start to finish. I was just so busy recording my days, trying to find a place to publish. The log speaks for itself. It shows everything. At this moment, we have already witnessed the deaths of a multitude of people, Ken intoned with gravitas. I think there's going to be a way for us to show the entire world what we have here. I just don't want you to get hurt. Gleese's face looked like a strawberry. Ken, what the hell? You've known me all these years. It's like you don't even know your own wife sometimes. I'm going to get hurt for certain. I'm already almost crushed by the lack of support in the medical journal realm. I'm still trying to keep your mind together as you work on your body. That's all. She moved closer to him and kissed him. I don't have to be incubated by my own husband. I'm going to explore and search and find everything I can until the goddamn scourge is forever relegated to medical history books. She stormed out of the bedroom and into the makeshift editing suite that provided her with a way of reviewing all the footage captured that did not go live. A tear streaked her face. She smiled and laughed a silent, broken guffaw. She noted how 12 editors rejected her. The 13th one made a breakthrough with her ability to see reason, individualism, and capitalism. Ken, come here. Look at this. Reddington strolled to the suite. At the editing bay, he saw his wife grinning. He looked up with the video contacts. He cracked a smile. They both saw the influx of academic publications willing to publish Gleese's work after the breakthrough. They embraced. You like that? Huh? 0 viewer having. Wow. That's what it is though. I mean I have views, just not a lot. Just not as much as I had with the vertical views. Vertical views was amazing. But I've been instructed, and he has more wisdom than I. And you know, my one of the phone it gets a call, and it automatically goes blank, or it, you know, it freezes. And I'm like, okay, I can't do this. Can't have a call going to my show. Doesn't work like that. So we have to slog through this. There's going to be a 100,000. There's going to be 1,000,000 people in my live one day. I can see that right now. There's going to be 1,000,000,000 people in my live one day. At least 1,000,000,000, maybe 10,000,000,000. You have to think like that. Did Edison think small? Did Einstein think small? Did uh, Jeff Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs? Do they think? Do they? Steve Jobs, did he think small? Does Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, do they think small? They're thinking about, you know, quintillion. You know, they're thinking about quintillion dollars. They have billions of dollars, but they're thinking about way further, way more, much more, way more many dollars than just a few billion. So that's what I'm going off of. I got to a point where it was 9,000 viewers. That was insane. That was, I still can't, and that's nothing to a lot of people. People get 9,000 views in a few hours. I've got 9,000 views in months now. It's been months since last time I got 9,000 views. I'm not yet to achieve, you know, beyond that. I was happy with last year with 6,000 views. I had 6,000 views based on Dame Dash, and then I had the 8,000 based on Diddy, 9,000 based on Diddy. I think 2,000 based on something else. I can't remember. I think I had another Diddy show that was 8,000. So I appreciate it all. See, I got a viewer. I don't know if that's King or not. He can't talk too much. He's on the road. He says I can't type too much because I'm driving, but I'm in here. He's in here somewhere. Somewhere he's in here. I appreciate King Hayes. Um, if you can do you can do one thing, King Hayes, just put up a one. Just type a one. Don't, you know, don't do a whole message. Just type a one. Whoever's in here, whoever's a viewer right now, just type one. If you're a viewer. Don't see too much typing. So I got one. Here's the one. There's one person in here. One person in the live. Who are you? Just type one. Just type one. If it's still you, King, don't worry about it. You don't have to type one. I'll just take it as such. Just trying to get a feel for it. I think with the amount of time that is permitting, I don't have enough time for a short story, but I do have time to let you know I am on vocal.media. All you have to do is put in my name, SKYLER space SAUNDERS. I have a trove of articles and stories, and they're all stories technically what they are, but short stories, fiction, nonfiction. You can read them all. I get paid for that, so I appreciate it. So I thank you. I thank Bumbleclot and King Hazy for coming through. Thank you for anybody else who came through. And I will see you sometime tomorrow. I appreciate the 3 likes. I appreciate that everyone that came on. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care.